Here we go, another State of the Union address, and of course, everybody wants to know, we're always asking, what is the political health of the president right now, and how does it look for him heading into 2020? The campaign's already begun on the Democratic side. Well, here you see the bottom line. We're always tracking the approval rating for Donald Trump, and here, heading into this State of the Union address, the most recent Gallup poll, he's sitting there, 37% approval, 59% disapproval. You know, there's been that range that he's kind of been in as president, somewhere in the high 30s on a bad day, the low to mid 40s on a good day. He really hasn't deviated from that range, but lately, probably because of the shutdown, he has been at the bottom end of the range. Here's the question, though. How does this compare? Take a look at all of his predecessors, modern presidents at this point, heading into the end of January, sort of the State of the Union for them the year before their election. How does Trump compare? Well, here you go. You get a good sense of it. At this point, the highest modern number, 83% George Bush Sr. Of course, at this point in his presidency, the country was at war. Operation Desert Storm, early 1991, so no surprise he had the highest number there. George W. Bush, his son, remember that was just months after the 9/11 attacks, excuse me, this was about a year after the 9/11 attacks, heading into the Iraq War in 2003, so those two were the highest. But you see Trump at 37%. It's not a good number for any president, obviously heading into a re-election campaign. What he can take solace in is the only one lower than him, Ronald Reagan, at this point in 1983, when unemployment was through the roof still, did win re-election easily. Clinton also, he was higher than Trump, but not that great. Obama as well at 50%. They both won re-election. So things can change in the next year and a half. The challenge for Trump has just been he has been stuck in that range. You haven't seen him budge past the mid-40s basically his entire presidency. Does he need to get it a little higher than that to have a chance at re-election, or could he win just by somehow dragging down his opponent? The other question I'm always asking, too, is with numbers like this, is there any threat in his own party? You're starting to hear some noise. Larry Hogan, the governor of Maryland, Bill Weld, former governor of Massachusetts from like 2 decades ago, he's making rumblings about challenging Trump in the Republican primaries next year. Is Trump at all vulnerable when it comes to his own party? Well, we can show you. These are, again, the modern presidents, their support within their own parties at this point in their presidency. Trump, though, that 88% with Republicans. 88% say they approve of his job performance. Again, you look at some of the other here. Jimmy Carter actually got a primary challenge in 1980 from Ted Kennedy. Carter survived, but it was a damaging primary challenge. That 88% tells you there may not be that great of an appetite in the Republican Party for a primary challenge to Donald Trump. So that becomes the dilemma Republicans are sort of facing, if you strategically, if you want to call it that. At this point, doesn't look like Trump's in much danger of losing the Republican nomination, but with an approval rating like this at 37%, that is historically, and we saw him in 2016 with terrible numbers get elected president by a very, very narrow margin there. These numbers are suggesting he's going to have to do the same thing again to win a second term in 2020.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.